Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. I don't know if you can hear me. Had some problems with the microphone today. I hope you can hear me. And here we go again. Interesting from the poll so far. 100% no. That's quite interesting. Let me know why you think no. I uploaded a video, and I'm going to do a series of 4 videos breaking the game down. The graphics, though, today, as my video said, I think they're really good if you just like looking at graphics. How much have we lost, though, for that? As you can see, we've moved on since the last episode, where we only played Arsenal in the last episode. And we've moved on. We lost 6-0 to Man City. That upset the board a little bit, and the fans. And the players had to refund the tickets. But hey-ho, it is what it is. We also lost to Liverpool 4-3. We were really unlucky there. And then we went on to beat Brighton by 5 goals to 1. So, like, we're getting some crazy results. I have gone and changed the tactic. I'm working on the 4-1-2-2-1, which is giving me some interesting results. I'm not going to give you too much information about how we've set that up, because I might do a video on it if it proves to be successful. And at the moment, we are sitting in 5th, and there's very little between the top 6 at the moment, and a win against Spurs in our next game could take us top. It should be, which will mean that perhaps the 4-1-2-2-1 is working still. So, interesting times ahead. And tactically, I'm getting a little bit better with working out how these things fit together. But still haven't got it right. And defensively, we are absolutely dreadful. We're very leaky defence. And I've got to figure out how to defend in this game. But attacking-wise, we're doing quite good. Yeah, we know he's a good player, but I haven't got that kind of money. So they also do team reports, which really, I'm not sure if it actually tells me much. It tells me they're performing much better than average. We click on that one. Can see who's... I mean, their passing isn't that great. I would have expected 3rd place to be somewhere up about here. Romero might be a target because his passing. And Jed Spence, I think if we can put him under pressure, that's something we can look at. They don't do very well against a 4-4-2. Concede a lot of chances. But they do very well against the 4-2-3-1. Well, the 4-1-2-2-1 is a combination of both. That really doesn't make much difference. They score a lot of goals, apparently, from outside the penalty area. And that left me with a dilemma. Looking at this, they're going to play a high press. And against good teams... It's kind of, I don't know, I think that if I play in a mid-block against good teams, then that tends to invite them on. There's a lot of FM24 in this, and I think the match engines change very little. And it always pays to play with high press against better teams, because if you don't play with a high press, you just invite them on and they end up taking you apart. We played with a mid-block against Manchester City and lost 6-0. And I'm surprised I didn't get sacked in that one. Not yet, Neil. I'm struggling to work out how to defend. Tactically, I'm not quite with it. I do think that there's a lot of FM24 in this, Neil. It is pretty much an unchanged match engine, so getting the lines right, I think, is really important. This is an interesting meeting. I've had a couple of these. And I guess let's just go to who my assistant manager is. Where's my staff? Club staff. Who's my assistant manager? Coaching team. It doesn't. Where am I going to find? Finding things is is the hardest thing. Let's go to tactics. Assistant manager will be in here. So Carlos Fernandez is my assistant manager. He's good tactical knowledge, but not that great. So I don't know. I don't know. But these meetings tend to be quite interesting. If you've got a good assistant manager, what's all that then? Where's the meeting? I don't want the... Oh, that's the analysis. I thought we had a meeting here. Yeah, match preparation. This meeting that you have here. So we've got a lot of stuff that he's talking about. Match prep. Oh, this isn't the one. It's a different one. I'm just going to let him do that. There is another meeting that comes up. Team selection advice. Casemiro, Mason Mount is not fit. Otherwise, I would have Mason Mount playing. I don't think he's fit. We'll have a quick look at that. Oh, he is fit now. So what I would do is put Mason Mount in here, which then makes this a better option. And the reason why I've got this in here for this game is that he needs to press. So I want him to be a pressing central midfielder so that he's going to sit outside the box, really, and stop long shots. That would be the plan. I don't know if that's going to work. Also, at the moment, I'm playing in a mid block. I don't think that's a good ploy for a team that's good, like Spurs. So I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm going to move to a high press. Still going to play with a cautious mentality. I've worked out that cautious is working better than anything else. I might even try defensive at some point because I think, wait a minute, that's recruitment focus. Where's that meeting that we normally have? Should be coming in, because that is quite interesting because you get a lot of, is it this? Yeah, tactical advice. So there's a lot of stuff in here, like what's he saying here? Recommend that we play with a balanced mentality. I don't want to play with a balanced mentality. Don't think I'll be playing until the match engine update in December. I don't know, Neil. This bit of it is a bit fiddly for me. The match engine is the same as FM24. You still get the same ridiculous things as you were getting in FM24. So hopefully what we were doing in FM24 should work here. That's my hope. We push up with a much higher defensive line because they're unlikely. Now, because of the long shots, I was thinking about playing with a higher defensive line. So that's probably a good idea, but not much higher. Because that's probably asking for trouble because we don't have the fastest of defense. Opposition aren't a crossing threat. Invite crosses. Well, okay, let's do it. Let's follow this as much as we can. Then we've got lack work rate, play through the press. Yeah, I mean, we have players capable of playing through the press. Spurs concede most chances on the left-hand side. I'm not going to do that yet. I think there's probably not enough goals scored to make an analysis on that properly yet. And would prevent the opposition creating chances. I believe this instruction would help if they have proven to be dangerous. Well, it doesn't tell me what the instruction is in this case. So we won't bother with that. But then here, this is an interesting thing. It's just going through the opposition instructions, which I'm not taking any interest in at the moment. So we'll just click these. But there is a glitch to be had here, because often when you go to the game, these are not actually, it's actually not completed. So you do have to check it when you get to the game as well. Yeah, we know, but I've got to get him back to match fitness somehow. I'm thinking actually anyway of playing Yoro in this game because he has more pace and is playing reasonably well. So we're going to have a look at that. So I've got Martinez and Delict. I'm actually thinking, let's play Yoro for this one, because Yoro is in fairly decent form. 6.85 overall. And I've been fairly happy with how Yoro's playing, and he is quicker than Martinez, who's also not fit. Now, the other thing I want to do is play with a high line, because I'm just worried about them taking a lot of long-range shots. So let's start with a high line. That might stop them taking these long-range shots. I don't know why I can't go back. Have you noticed you can't go back sometimes? Like, come on, there's a little click to take me back to where I was. You have to continue. I don't think I will be getting too far into a save just yet. A few more updates. Like, I like match graphics. So do I, absolutely. And those will get better over the coming years, Franks. The match engine is exactly the same as FM24, I'm starting to think. This is the problem. Is the UI is the problem, and the in-game management is the problem. This is a nightmare sometimes. Fullbacks and dribbling is ridiculous. Yeah, I said in my video just now that poor fullbacks, them being made to look like monkeys. I'm sure that can be dumbed down a little bit. And they probably will dumb down the ability for wingers to go past the defenders. Football, the trip to Vietnam was awesome. Thanks very much for asking. I had a really good time. It was lovely to see my daughter again. And although she's not my daughter, I've adopted her, and absolutely adore her. And it was great to spend time with her again. So I'm not too confident about this Spurs game. Knowing FM as I do, this is not a very good United team. And they are probably not going to let me go top of the league. So I don't feel very confident. As I said, we are playing with this. We're trying out the 4-1-2-2-1. It was working. As if I can defend better, I think it's going to work a little bit better. It would. I think there's an issue here. So having an inverted wing back here, I think what I want to do is have a wing back on this side. And I think Diallo, I think I've got him. If we can have him moving inside, we're going to try that for Spurs. So just have a wing back going up here and him coming inside supporting Mount. And then this one is a playmaking wing back. I've been playing with this. He does tend to come inside anyway and fills in here, which means then that Ugarte can get forward a little bit. You notice that I don't have Fernandez. He's suspended. He got sent off against Liverpool. Nutcase. And it's probably going to be tough for us to beat Spurs. Have you updated to the latest Steam public beta? Franks, I had to get this from Epic. Steam wouldn't take my money. So in the end, I just went over to Epic and bought it on Epic. So Steam and me are probably finished. I was clicking on go to cart, which it went quite nicely. And then continue to pay. I got into putting my Visa card details in there, click continue, and the screen just disappeared. So after about 10 times of that, I decided, nah, I'm not going to bother. Now, let's have a look at this. The graphics, I think, are excellent. I've done a video on that, saying how excellent they are. We've got a poll now at 77% no. It was 100% for a while. I would say I'm like half and half. Good evening, Mercury. I am well. I hope you are too. I've been saying that a lot today. Go out there and impress me. Go on. I've got faith in you. A win against Spurs here would be exceptional. Now, I do want to check that those opposition instructions have actually gone through. This is all very pretty, but I don't think I'm going to be looking at it for very much longer. What I do wonder, you guys will tell me, because this is only like my second or third go at this game. If you're playing in lower leagues, what do you get as an intro in lower leagues? You guys will be able to tell me about that. It's all very pretty. It looks like television, and that's what they're after. They want the young kids who don't have to do too much management, who will sit back and watch the game as it unfolds and be impressed by the prettiness of the pictures. That's what they're after. And I'm going to make some changes here because I'm going to go comprehensive because it's a big game. And then I need to check the opposition instructions have actually gone through. Oh, they have this time. This never press, we'll take that off. That's never a good thing to do. And let's see if we can... Let's see. Oh, we got a corner, have we? We've never scored from a corner since I began. And I was complaining recently that I hadn't scored from a free kick either until the last game when Cunha, I think it was, scored from a free kick. So well done, Cunha. Is it all stuck on? Yes, it is comprehensive, but nothing's happening. So we'll see if the high line works. We have conceded lots of goals from corners, but we've actually not scored at all from a corner ourselves, and there are the long shots. Mount is better able to sit outside the box, deal with that. I'm wondering, I got one on the left who's a pressing DM. I wonder if both DMs should be pressing DMs for this game. But yeah, there's another long shot. They do take a lot of long shots. So maybe both DMs should be pressing DMs. So we're just gonna try that. So I've got one who's a pressing, and we'll have another one who is a pressing defensive midfielder. We'll try and stop these long shots as best we can. Some guy making a stadium mob with all proper stadiums. And I mean, given what we were used to, Neil, you've got to say it's at least an improvement. I just wish they had just like put all this fancy graphics on top of FM24 that we already had, And I don't know why that wasn't possible, why they felt like they needed to take things out. It's going to be a few more gigabytes to download. Understandable, but that can't be the reason. The reason is, I think, that they don't want us being football managers. 1-0. No, good save. That they actually just want us to sit and watch the game. Like, because I'm totally redundant now. There are some stats, but they're not. Well, we can do that all day, but they're not brilliant stats. So if once this comes up, I can't really, except that we're not attacking at all. That could be the mid block. So I might have to go into a high press. That could well be that. So if I go and have a look, the stats that I've got, they really don't tell me much. If I go to passing, Jed Spence, who we were told was the worst passer, he's made 3 progressive passes, is 89%, is not bad. Udogie, so everything's coming from their wing backs. Now their wing backs, are they playing with 3 at the back then? No, so these 2, they should be marked anyway. If I go to my tactics, Ahmad should be, he should be tracking, but he's obviously not doing a very good job. And as well as Umbuemo, but we know Umbuemo's not very good at getting back into. So, I don't know, the one thing that I could do, I am playing with a high press and with a higher line. My assistant did say much higher, and we've seen them like taking shots. They're not exactly playing through balls. So I can't think that there's anything else that I can do in terms of attacking. Could go away from cautious, but cautious is working for me at the moment. We're just not getting enough attacking going on at the moment. Maybe because we are too cautious. So we may have to change that. But I want to make sure that Spurs don't score first. And then we'll start coming into the game later. Yeah, he's finding tons of space. Where is the marker? So Ahmad did not go with him at all then, which he should be. Wonder what Ahmad was doing in that instance. So it's not really marking his man as he should be. We'll probably find him way more on the other side. Is not doing the same as well. Spurs do have a very good defensive record. And I'd like to know how they're doing it so I could copy it. Right, I might have to add a team instruction here. An opposition instruction. Let's go and do that. Because these 2 fullbacks are getting way too much room. So let's tell them tight mark him always. Tight mark him always. And I don't know what their feet are. Preferred foot right. So turn him on to his left foot. Well, what happened there? Turn him on to his left foot. Let's have him come inside. And Udogie is a left footer, isn't he? So he can go on his right foot. We need to nullify that threat. But we certainly need the 2 wingers to be doing their job. Ahmad, that's Ahmad, isn't it? And he's miles away from where he should be. He should be marking Udogie. But he's just simply not doing it. good tackle. That wasn't a foul. It was a perfectly good tackle. I mean, there's a lot of wasted space here because I can't figure out. I mean, I could slow the game down to 1 and then I might be able to see what's happening, but then I might as well play in full highlights. That is wasted space. That they could have heat map there. They could have the opposition focus of attacks. Things that will help you as a manager. It's just total wasted space, that is. Oh, I say. Oh. Graphics are great, but Match Engine doesn't play great at the moment. Well, we know, Neil, that FM24 Match Engine was absolutely terrible. And this is what they've built this on. It's clear that this is what they have built the new graphics on. The new graphics are the selling point, and they kept everything else the same. But in order to accommodate the new graphics, they took a lot of stuff out. That's what they've done. Stuff that I found really useful. I don't know whether I just want to be a spectator. I think that's what I'm saying. I can watch Match of the Day for that. This is supposed to be Football Manager, and I expect some in-game management to be going on. At the moment, all I can do is guess. And a lot of the changes that I've made are just based on what I've seen on the pitch. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is become a better visual manager and not rely on stats. I have to have a notebook, and like, he made a good pass there. Well, we come back into the game. We pushed the line up to much higher, and we've come back into the game. So fair play. I do like using the cautious mentality. I think that I'm getting better results than when I use... I don't create as... That's probably a foul. I don't think I'm getting as many chances, but I'm not so open at the back as I was, although Liverpool got 4, Manchester City got 6. But in the other games, we haven't been that bad. We did score 3 against Liverpool, none against City. The board were not too happy. Seems strange to me to... Interesting point, Franks, because SI said that shouts don't work, so we've taken them out. I'm going to disagree with SI, because I think shouts did work. Not all the time, but then you wouldn't expect them to work all the time. But there were occasions that you could actually change a game just through a shout, especially individual shouts. I think they were very valuable. So I think they just said that just to justify taking shouts out of the game. If you just say, well, they didn't work anyway, people might believe you. But I don't believe it. I think they did work. Strange for SI to say shouts didn't work when they kept them in the game for I don't know how long. What's the point of having something in the game if they knew that it didn't work? But they kept it in the game for, I don't know, 20 years. And you wouldn't do that if something does not work. So it was bound to happen that they were going to score. So I think that it is what it is. I mean, they did say that shouts will come back in. This was for FM25. They said they're taking them out, but at some point they will come back in. So now they're saying they didn't work. Well, why would they bring them back in? Why would they say they're going to bring them back in if now they're saying they didn't work anyway? But one of the nice things about shouts was it did make you feel like a manager. And this is becoming more and more like Football Spectator, not Football Manager. And maybe they're going to have to rename the game after a few years to Football Spectator. Because Neil was saying, and others I've read have said that the stats are not accurate anyway. So at the end of the day, it's probably going to become football fan or football spectator, because how much influence you can have now is just open. All right, okay. We've got all this on. Discourage long shots, work the ball in the box, and the 2 shots we've had have been long shots. And this suggests to me that the match engine is still FM24. And what you're able to do, and what you were able to do in 24 was very limited. And I think in FM26, once you start the game, that's it pretty much. And that's kind of sad. I want to go back to FM22. Well, I just feel that was nicer, FM22. The game actually listened to you and what you were doing in FM22. Although I do like the graphics, there's got to be more to this game than just nice, fancy pictures. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Another shot from outside the box. So are they listening to my instructions? No. Now, the followers of the game will defend the game. The devout religious fans of the game will defend the game. Oh, it's something that they don't trust you as a team. Well, that was a mistake putting Euro in there, wasn't it? He just simply left that. Well, I've got no choice now but to go positive. I've got to try and get something back. I'm having some interesting results with the 4-1-2-2-1. But there's nothing I can do about that. Euro just simply didn't bother going for the ball. And just gave away a goal. There's nothing I can do about that. So my defense is having a shocker here today. The only other thing I can do is not to play with that much higher line. That's probably why that happened. So my assistant was wrong. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to higher. We played better when I was on a higher line. But for me, this is about FM being FM. And it almost feels like it's scripted. So you might as well sit back, enjoy the match, and see what happens. I'm getting some crazy results where I don't think we deserve to win. We beat Brighton 5-1. We didn't deserve really to win, but the game decided you're going to win. So it's all very strange. All very strange. You've been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Got nothing else to say. Mbuemo up top. He's been really bad, Mbuemo, of late. You just have to ride this out for 15 minutes. Mbuemo has started the season quite well, but he's absolutely shocking now. This is FM again. One of the top players that we have suddenly is shocking. He can't play football. But this never happens to Haaland, have you noticed? Haaland is always in form. And in fact, he scored 3 when City beat us 6-0. He always gets at least 2 against me. So there are things that are just wrong in FM, which kind of suggests this whole thing is a little bit too coded. And it's not random enough. Because football is random, not coded. And they should make it just a little bit more random. You know, why doesn't Haaland have an injury in FM? I have seen him once in the whole time that he's been in the game. I've seen him have one injury. But if you have him if you're managing Manchester City, he's injured all the time. And how does that work? It doesn't, is the answer to that. And that's just the match engine that's old, that match engine, and we're still using it. What about shouts, for example? Now you have 4 players with a purple face. How do you fix that? I don't know. It's there is nothing you can do. So this is like, as a manager, you're pretty useless. Once the game begins, you're pretty useless. I mean, I'd love to see the focus of attacks. I'd love to see a heat map. Again, another long-range shot from outside the box. So, I mean, like I said, the die-hard fans, loyal fans of FM are going to be saying it's your fault. You're not a very good manager. But if you instruct them 2 instructions to not shoot from distance and also work it into the box, and they're not doing it, then either they do think that you're a rubbish manager, the team have got no respect for you whatsoever, or it's just the game being the game. And the dynamics are actually quite good. And the managerial support is quite good. So the fact saying that they hate me is not going to work, because actually the dynamics say they actually quite like me. But that's the die-hard fans who will not have you criticize the game whatsoever. And I understand where they're coming from. It's the only thing in their life and they're not going to have it criticized. But I will call it out. If I think that there's something wrong, I will call it out. And the first video that I did on the graphics, I was very kind, and I am impressed with the... Oi, send him off, ref. I am impressed with the graphics, no doubt, especially the dribbling. I do like the dribbling. And the next couple of videos, though, are not going to be too kind, because there are issues. The next one I'm going to do on in-game management, and there are terrible issues with it. And they need to sort it out. Maybe now that they've got the graphics finished, they'll start working on a new match engine. Maybe they didn't have time to do the match engine. Maybe they only had time to... Another long shot. See, this is crazy. This is FM being FM. Every shot we've had has been from outside the box. And that's FM being FM. Nothing I can do about that. Has Mbuemo got any better? No, he's got worse. Time to drag him off then. We'll give him one last shot at it. I mean, I can't even shout at him and demand more from him. There's nothing I can do about him. Another long shot. Could have kept going there. The defence were backing off. Sesko is an absolute nightmare in FM25. He is just so bad. But mind you, I expect if I was playing for West Ham, Sesko would be absolutely brilliant. I'd be probably wanting to buy him. It's there's a lot wrong with it. This needs a total revamp. I mean, somebody will come up with a skin, hopefully. The hard problem for the skin will be, how the hell do you make a skin for that UI? When the UI doesn't work very well anyway. How do you make a skin for it? You see all this nonsense about invite crosses. We're going to take that off as well, because they're actually crossing really well. And they scored one from a cross. So we're going to stop crosses from now on. And they nearly scored another one. So maybe you just shouldn't listen to your assistant manager and just play the way you play. I am learning this game slowly as well. I have added 2 things to the bookmarks. The bookmarks have turned out to be a number of players are used to playing more directly. No, they're not. We've not been playing direct football. But do I listen to him or keep going? We're not doing very well at the moment, so nightmare. Passing directness. Let's go more direct. See if that helps. I did experiment in one game playing direct, but we lost the game. So I didn't think that playing direct was a good thing to do. We got space over on the right. Come on, think, Ahmad, think. Oh, what happened there? Right, it's time to get some of these nutters off. Attacking-wise, we are terrible. Sesko should be in the cesspit. Mbuemo, we can bring Jeremy on for Mbuemo. And Ugarte is not playing very well. So Mount can come in here and Cunha can come in here. Euro is driving me nuts now. He's been playing well, Euro, but just because I decided not to play Martinez, he decides to have a really bad game. Mainu can be replaced by Casemiro. Half tempted to take Sesko off. Ahmad is knackered though. But I don't have anybody now who can play there. Can Cunha play there? Don't think so. I don't think Cunha... He can. Yeah, let's play Cunha there. So now I've got a problem out of possession. Why is Ahmad still on? Undo that. I want to take Ahmad off. Undo. Undo. Right, Martinez for Euro. Mount comes in here. That's fine. Can take Cunha off. Oh, okay, Cunha's already playing, is he? No, he's come on as a sub. So I'm not quite sure what this glitch is, Jeremy. I want to take Ahmad off. So Cunha can play there. And we need to take Ahmad off. Casemiro is for Mainu. Oh, okay, I can see the problem. So Mount can come back into centre midfield. They've got one more sub. So I don't have now anyone who can play here. I'm going to have to put Xerxes on there, aren't I? That's all I can do. We do tend to get beaten quite heavily by these teams. They do find it easy to score against us. Which is kind of unusual because normally I struggle to beat the teams at the bottom of the league. But now I'm struggling to beat the top teams in FM26. And they score a ton of goals against me. So defending, I've really got to work out how to defend. I have no idea at the moment how to defend. I think that I'm setting up with a good defensive setup, but teams are just like scoring at will. It could be the players are rubbish. I mean, as in real life, they're not that great. Raining, maybe going direct could be good. Maybe, I don't know, Max. To be honest, in FM24, the weather didn't seem to affect anything. I did experiment with weather, and the weather didn't seem to affect anything at all. I tell you what I could do is... Where's the dribbling? Is dribble less? Discourage dribbling. And that might help them pass it. And maybe also playing direct, the tempo should be higher. So let's see what happens. We've lost the game anyway, but I'll be happy if we only lose by 2. The visual rain in 3D doesn't matter. What would impact is what's written in the detail. Have we got a penalty? Because I haven't had a penalty yet. Haven't scored from a set piece in all the games I've played, and I haven't been given a penalty. That's really quite interesting as well. The visual rain in 3D doesn't matter, but what would impact is what was written in the detail. Can you explain further on that? But in FM26, I have no idea where the detail is. Which is helpful. Explain further what's written in the detail. Written in the detail where? Like, teams don't like playing in the rain, or you might find in the data hub. I don't get what you're saying. I thought that was going to be a foul. Turned out to be a good tackle. Okay. I presume that what was written was going to be rainy. But I did a series of experiments on weather, and it didn't seem to make any difference in FM24. Not at all. Short passing is generally not a good idea in heavy rain. That in real life, but I don't think FM24 have got it down to that minute detail. Could be wrong. Let's go and not that. Update that. Martinez is actually a left back as well, isn't he? So he could cover for Shaw, because Shaw is getting like having to play every game. Dorgu is not cutting it at all. But yeah, we against the big teams, I'm not having any success at all. As I said, 6-0 against Manchester City. We lost to Arsenal 2-0, and now we've lost to Liverpool 4-3, and now we're losing to Spurs. We're not getting any sort of result against big teams. And I can't figure out how to defend against the big teams. I really need to just open a save and just try to get to grips with defending, because I cannot figure out how to defend yet. I mean, I don't know what your experience is, guys. Are you able to defend? Are you finding defending easy? Are you finding defending impossible? to do? What's your thoughts? Am I alone in this? But I simply cannot defend. Certainly against these big clubs. I thought cautious was the way to go. I thought the mid-block was the way to go, but I don't know. It could be that I just have got a poor defence, maybe. Cautious did work for a while, but then we were playing against teams lower in the league than us. That's when cautious really seems to kick in, because they find it very difficult to break us down. And then what it means is they cannot sit back if we're playing cautiously. And maybe that creates space. But these guys are just taking us apart at will. And it's like bigger teams or teams of similar stature, I can't get anywhere near. Which is why I didn't think we were going to get anything out of this. So we played 4 of them, and we've lost all 4 of them, and conceded 2, 6, 8, conceded 14 goals against 4 of those teams. So defending is a big issue. Thought he looked a bit offside there. So, yeah, if you guys know how to defend, give me some suggestions here. How do you defend? I will figure it out. I'll run test after test after test, and eventually I will figure it out. Like this 4-1-2-2-2-1 didn't actually work when I started testing it, and we had some poor results at the beginning, but I tweaked it a bit, and it's better now. We're sitting in 5th where we were in 18th, so it's better now. And if you tweak it around for a while, I'll just open a save. Maybe I'll do Spurs, and all it will be is tactics, and it doesn't matter about results. You just tweak it and tweak it, play game after game until you get the tactic right. And that's what I'll have to do for defending, because I simply as yet have no idea how to defend. That's pretty poor. We'll probably knocked us down the table. I'm far from pleased. So we're probably down to 7th now, maybe. Oh, I thought it was going to crash then. There is a couple of places where it crashes for me. If we can get out of this, then that doesn't work. That button doesn't work. So they've got a lot of work to do. This pop-up I just don't like. I don't know what this is about. What's this about? Do we really need this? Is there another international break coming up? Spurs have gone top. We could have gone top as well. But see, I have not seen the table yet. And one of the first things that should come up is the league table, and I haven't seen it yet. So there's so much wrong. We're still in 5th. 4 points behind Spurs now. So it's not a disaster, that result. But that's one of the things that, remember in FM24 when the game was over, you got the result on the table nicely there as soon as the game was over, so you could see. But that took, how many? 7 emails, and I had to go and find the table myself. So no, it's not satisfactory. There's so much that needs to be changed, and I'll show you where it actually crashes. Where do I need to go? The first one is, oh yeah, the first one, I have to be very, very careful. In fact, I'll do it just in case. Save game as. I have to be very, very careful with this. So let's say I want to go and have a look at this game we had against Burnley. Very often I'll get the black screen of death on this. So I go like, okay, I want to go see extended highlights. Oh, okay, that shouldn't have happened. And I know why, because I click continue, not the... this is so difficult to move. So let's say I want to find out how we got on against Burnley or any other team, for example. So I go to extended highlights. Now if I click this button, if I get the black screen of death, which I think I have, oh no, then I will have to restart the game. But luckily I say, oh, wait a minute. Is it going to work? Yeah, it did work that time. So for a moment, I thought I was going to get that black screen of death. And, phew, I thought I was going to have to. And then the other one is clauses. And I have to be very, very careful as well in here. Because if I click back instead of continue, that will give me that black screen of death as well. So if I want to go to clauses, I always save the game first as well. These things should not be happening. Of a game of this stature, these things just should not be happening. Coaching advice. Otto, no, we don't want to do that. Brian, dear, he doesn't seem himself. Oh, bless him. I think we'll sell him. Discuss the issue. I've been told that you have something on your mind, Sunshine. This is where I go about. I put me manager hat on here. Concerns about my playing time, but now isn't. Oh. Well, what's the point? Good. If you got concerns about your playing time, I'd be quite happy to sell you. No problem. Don't know when my next game is. I put here fixtures, but this is not what I actually want because I can't see anything going on here. How do I get rid of this? I think once you put it on the bookmark, you're stuck with it, which is a bit of a shame. Can I remove it from here? Yeah, that got rid of it. So I don't want that fixture schedule. But the other fixture one isn't available. So you've got two calendars. And I don't want either of those. I want... I want this one on there, but it doesn't have it. Luckily, this one's easy to find. I mean, there's nothing like... I guess we'll just leave it at that. But we need our form to pick up Everton at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the old system. Oh, get out of there. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This is the UI is a bit of a nuisance. I know the diehards are going to say, you just got to get used to it. You just got to get used to it. But it's not designed for PC users. It's designed for the console. No, there's no players available from the first team. Well, let's make them available then. Harry Maguire. It doesn't help having your best player suspended, I suppose. All right, they can get some game time. Oh, what is this about? Come on, let's move. And they also said that it's no longer an email game. Well, everything is run through these emails. So, and it's in exactly the same place as it was before. You can't move on until you've dealt with all the emails. I suppose you could, if you could leave them unread and just deal with the tasks. But I don't see it as a Portal game. I think there's a lot of wasted space here. These two things, good. We could, I don't know what that's there for. And I mean, I guess we can pull up the Everton report. That's useful. Are we gone back to emails now? So it is definitely an email game, and they're not going to. Oh, how do I know he's on loan? So yeah, it's interesting. And what I wanted to do was go back to how I was playing. Enough of this experimenting. It was working better the other way. Oof, tons of messages coming in. Right, let's just go back to, and we're not going to play in a high press anymore. We're just going to go back to the mid block. Cautious mentality, standard line. That's balanced. Yeah, the trigger press, we'll keep it more often. Standard. Shorter passing, standard tempo. Let's go a little wider. I think we had it wider originally. Counter-attack, more disciplined, standard play for set pieces. Cool, everything's cool now. That's back to how I had it when we were doing a lot better. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how much effect I'm having in this game, if any. And I am convinced it's just becoming a football simulator, and the fact that you have no control in game just reinforces that in me, that you're not supposed to manage now, you're supposed to enjoy the graphics. and everything else is kind of like add-ons. I mean, disagree with me. Somebody out there must disagree with me. Surely, unless all of you are of the same opinion of me as me. I mean, I'd love to hear why you think I'm wrong. This is not good. So he's not going to be available for the next game. So Mazraoui is going to have to take over from him. Oh, for goodness sake. Of course I'm happy. The newspaper are not going to call the manager and say, how happy with you that Bruno Fernandes scored? They are not going to do that. Newspapers have got better things to go and report on. Like, no manager's going to say, I was absolutely devastated when he scored. I've never been so unhappy in my life. I can't stand the guy. I was not. And I was hoping he was going to have an absolute shocker. What is the point of calling me to ask me that question? Oh, we got another one. And Jeremy. Seems like it's twisted ankle week. My squad is getting smaller and smaller. I'm sure we'll have 11. It always leaves you 11. Dorgu on the right. I don't think that's a good idea. In all fairness to you, I'm going to have to try and have a look at this myself, because I don't have a team at the moment. I think Mazraoui. Oh, he's on international duty still. Oh, okay. Well done, FM. So it does have to be Dorgu. So I'm going to play him as an inverted wing back. I am going to switch those back over now. I'm going to put him in there. And he can play, he's not going to play as a pressing wing back now. Pointless, they'll just be bumping into each other. And then you have to remove him from there. Jeremy's injured as well. Casemiro's injured as well. I think he'll be all right for bench. Play Martinez. He should be fitter now. Cunha can come back in here. And Mount in here. Sesko is on the verge of being sold. But then I've played Mbuemo up there, played Cunha up there. None of them are any good up front. I have read recently, people have been saying, is he available? Yeah, he's available now. So let's play Fernandes in that deep role there. I've read and heard people saying, what was I talking about? I can't remember what I was talking about. I got distracted there by... So Heaven, Euro. I've got no replacements now for fullbacks. It's pretty much done my entire fullback selection. He maybe should be playing more Atabuli. Let's get him back in the team. I'm not really that happy with the Lehmans. And because he's got a strop, we can replace him with him, and hopefully he'll get another strop, and then he'll be sold. Casemiro, Ugarte, Maguire, and Xerxes. Some too short on the bench. Menu. There's not much else to choose from. Oh well, Phil Bennett can come on that. Great Welsh rugby player. Well, we do seem to have Fernandez back after his suspension. I'm fairly happy with that. Dorgu is probably the problem. What I miss is being able to put the players on defend duty, support duty, attack duty, that you had a little bit more control over the role. Now the roles just seem to be, oh, that's his role, it's all taken care of. I know you can add instructions to the role, but you can't tell them to become more attacking or more defensive, which is a mentality thing. Again, you just can't tell them, oi, just don't go forward as much. Just sit back and not change their the instructions that you've given them. Now to do it, you basically have to change their role, which has a completely load of different instructions. Whereas I miss being able to just tell him, okay, sit back and defend. You're useless at attacking, just defend. He's pretty useless at this role as well. What's an inside fullback do? Moving inside to become an extra central defender. No, we don't want that one. We'll have to do that one. An inverted wing back. That'll probably work. And from here, there's another issue. From here, I'm not allowed to alter the opposition instructions from here. Why? Why am I not allowed? Is the other manager not allowed as well? They have a lot of issues going on that they need to sort out. My next video on match day experience is not going to be as favourable as the graphics, and neither is the one I do on the UI. There's too many things that are not right, that don't feel right. And so that's why I'm asking the question, do you think FM26 is worth the money? 57% are saying no. So still people are going with the no. And I want to know why it's so difficult to add opposition instructions before I get to the game. Already I'm clicking these things off. And how much information did they have to remove from the game to make that introduction, which everybody's going to be clicking off very shortly. I have to go in here now to do the opposition instructions. I'm fairly happy with him doing it. But I shouldn't have to stop the game after 1 second to go and do the opposition instructions. I wonder if I'll be told that they're more used to playing direct now. Because I was told in no uncertain terms that there's a number of players who are much more used to playing direct. So I'll be looking out for it in this game. But it won't appear. Pretty sure it won't appear. One, they're not used to playing direct. So why would... Oh, is that the first penalty I've ever had? Have I got Fernandez on the pitch? Yes. The first penalty I've ever had. Come on, ref. No doubt about that one. It's going to say he's outside the box, isn't it? Yes. He was inside the box. Let's see that again. No way. I still haven't had a penalty yet, then. It's close. I still haven't scored a header from a set piece either. Nearly played half a season now. And they're still taking long shots instead of listening to me. But it doesn't matter. In about 3 games' time, they'll be playing blinders again. So it doesn't really matter. So we now sit back and see what happens. It's another highlightless game. That's because I'm incautious in a mid-block. We're not going to create too much. But I'm just trying to focus on defending. No data available. Nothing's happened. We've got all the match momentum. Good block. It's something. It is very interesting that I actually haven't scored from a corner, and I haven't had a penalty. We've played nearly half the season now. The opposition have had penalties, and the opposition have also scored from corners against us. Why is FM not allowing me those pleasures? I don't know. I mean, maybe my set-piece coach isn't good enough, or I brought in a specialist set-piece coach who is very good at set-pieces. I don't know. But it's also interesting. Why have I not had a penalty? And how long is it going to take? I thought we had one there. It looked like I was going to go into a massive celebration. It looked inside the box to me. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this game. I don't know if I ever will, but I'm trying. My forwards are absolutely dreadful. I've never seen such bad forwards. And I've played some FM in my life, but these forwards are absolutely dreadful. Defenders score most of the goals. Fernandez scores most of the goals, and Ahmed. The other forwards are absolutely dreadful. Cunha and Mbuemo are shocking. Hit the post. Penalty, ref. No penalty. Haven't he got a sneeze on him in my penalty area and it's a penalty? Mind you, you shouldn't go around sneezing on players. It's not very nice. Oh, come on, boys. Let's have a go. It's because I'm incautious. We're not going to create too many chances. But I just don't want to lose against Everton as well. Just got to hope we put one of these away. I mean, the fact that we are incautious shouldn't have any effect on whether or not we can score a goal from those positions. And Buemo has missed 2 absolutely beautiful opportunities from there. So that has got nothing to do with a cautious mentality. That's just to do with a crap footballer. Again, another opportunity. That's not to do with cautious. We're creating opportunities. But my forwards are so bad. Luke Shaw has got as many goals as my entire forward line. It says something. My left wing back has got as many goals as my entire forward line. It's getting a bit glitchy there. Another opportunity we can't score, which is I'd have scored that. Absolutely certain I would have scored that. I used to play when I was a schoolboy, you know. I would have tucked that in, no problem. Game's getting a bit glitchy. Might be because I went into clauses. It hasn't recovered after I did that. Shouldn't go into clauses, it's dangerous. Football Manager Console, how are you doing? Good to see you here. And what are you making of this game, Football Manager? What are you making of this game? When I was on holiday, I did read a lot of stuff on forums that people were saying that they couldn't get their centre forward to score goals. I know how they feel. I absolutely know how they feel. My entire forward line, I think, has scored 3 goals all season. Oh, okay. Nice to see you, Gobby. What are you making of this game, shall we say? Callum, good to see you. I'm like, the graphics are very nice. When they work, the graphics are very nice. But I've just gone through a period where it's become very glitchy. These images are fantastic. And if you don't... Oh, come on, referee. Are you going to give that outside the box as well? Come on. First penalty of the year. Come on. I haven't had a penalty since I've been playing this game. Come on. This must be it. Yes, it's a penalty this time. Holy cow. We've had a penalty. I don't know. The graphics, I think, are awesome. And I've just released a video earlier, and I say that I'll call a spade a spade. It's a huge improvement on what we had last year and the year before and the year before that. Let's call a spade a spade. The graphics are great. But that's about as much as I can say, because the next 3 reviews I'm going to do, the one on in-game management, the one on the UI, and the one on other issues, are not going to be so pleasant. And I think for me, what they've done, and we have console players here. For me, what they've done is target 10-year-olds. And they want the money from 10-year-olds, teenagers. They're also stealing money from the console players, as far as I'm aware, where you can buy magic sponges and stuff, and you buy your striker some goals or whatever. They want this. They're going after this extra money that consoles bring them. I think if they start doing that on the PC, we can part ways straight away. So I think that the target audience, as I suspected was going to happen, has changed. People like me, and people who've been playing for longer than me, were no longer relevant. It will become a console game, which in the not too distant future will be also available on the PC. So I think PC players are being phased out. I think that's what's happening. How is he so tired now? What's the matter with you? Because I don't have a left winger. That's why he's so tired. This is just like one of FM's games again, isn't it? When you haven't got a replacement, your player's going to become really tired. But I can do it that way. But now I don't have. I'm going to have to move Fernandez up here. I'm going to have to bring in Mainu. See, FM, I can do it. Now this doesn't work because Mainu has to come in here. Mount, where's Mount playing then? Centre mid, so he needs to come in here. Cunha there, that's better. So yeah, I think that I'm becoming surplus to requirements in terms of FM. I think that we've lost so much control. We've lost so many stats. What I have in game here is just useless. And I don't know why they don't call the game Football Spectator, which should be a better Football Spectator 1, it should be called. Because unless they bring all this data back, I mean, this is useless. If you look at this here. Taking up a quarter of the screen. And what is it? Does anybody understand this nonsense? Why don't they have 3 panels here? One of which is the attacking... what was it called? The attacking focus of the opposition. Are they going through the wings, up the middle? Where's the attacking focus? We could have a heat map in here. And we could use the third one for another... sort of essential. Perhaps we could have the passing here where we can see who's making the key passes for the opposition. This is a complete waste of space. I'm really not quite sure what it's even there for. I really don't know. But it's very difficult to make any sort of assessment in-game. At half-time, I used to have so much information available to me in FM24. Like, even I could go into the finest detail. In this, I've got nothing, no information at all. And unless I become extremely good visually at interpreting it, then... I don't know. Hey, Sentenx. Yeah, I mean, it's a sad thing to say, I'm afraid. But I've just given the graphics a great big praise. But now what I'm seeing is that it's very glitchy. It can become that sometimes. That's probably my computer, though, not to do with the game. And I probably should alter the settings, maybe 1 notch down. But up until tonight, it's been functioning really well. But the occasional time when it's glitchy. But it does crash when I go into clauses. Oh, we got another one. So I just went into clauses, so maybe that's had something to do with it. It does crash when I go into clauses. Maybe that's affected the gameplay, the graphics quality. I do agree the graphics are better. The Prem scoreboards in particular look more realistic. Yep, it's I can't really criticize the graphics. I think I said that in my video that came out an hour ago. I can't criticize. You know, we all like to have better graphics. I mean, I remember when I started in FM11, the graphics were absolutely shocking. But for me, as a manager, it didn't matter because I was playing the game for the spreadsheets. So the graphics in 11, it didn't really matter. All the goals scored were exactly the same. I had centre-backs who were scoring 20 goals a season. It was ridiculously bad. But it didn't really matter. And they started making better graphics, I think, around about 13 or 14. And then we all became like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if they could do this? And little by little, they improved them until we got to 24. But even at 24, we've never seen anything like this. We've not seen stadiums like this. We've not seen player movement like this. I even saw, I think in the last stream, somebody scored a goal, back-heeling it from a penalty spot. I've never in my life seen that in FM. So they've introduced in the graphics a whole new bundle of things, and it looks more realistic. The grass looks realistic. Everything looks much better. But my point is that this is all very well. But what is the cost of having these fancy new graphics? What's the cost? And that's what worries me. Now that is an actual interesting observation, Sentenx. I've long since worried that Football Manager, even before they released this game, a long time before they released this game, I worried that it was becoming too much of a simulation, that we were losing control. Is it time for old Harry to come on? I've got two very tired players there. I don't have a right back. Dorgu, can you last the 90 minutes? He's absolutely knackered. He might have to. I'll run him into the ground. Have I got somebody who can play? No, he's a left back. Shaw can't play over there. Shaw's knackered anyway. Got no full backs. FM, what are you doing to me? And nobody else is tired. It's all my defenders who are tired. So let's go with 2 and see who gets absolutely on their knees. I still haven't scored from a corner yet. Yeah, Sentex, I absolutely agree with you. It's sad how much data we are losing. And I do feel like it should be called Football Spectator at the moment. I've seen the old graphics in FM 13 and 14. My first one was FM 11 and the graphics were really poor. And I can't remember when they started. I thought it was around about 14, 15 they started making more of the graphics. And they changed the player roles as well. Player roles are really basic in 11 as I remember. Just like midfielder, striker. And then they introduced all these player roles in about, I think that might have been 15, and just kept adding to them. Nothing wrong with that because it was changing with the modern game, so nothing wrong with that. And it got more complex, and therefore more stats were needed. So they kept adding different kinds of stats. I can remember when the data hub was first introduced. Not so long ago, I think maybe only 3 or 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And the great excitement about the data hub. And, you know, we start, like, the old chalkboard. I know not many people were using it, but I loved it. I loved the chalkboard. And so much you could learn from the chalkboard. And it's just a shame. I think it's just a shame. But there we are. I'm thinking about going back to an older FM right now. I just hope they add passing maps, heat maps. I mean, yeah, there's nothing of that, is there? Oh, come on, send him off, ref. And this is the point. Whilst the graphics are good, at what cost is it? And is it because, like, you're selling the game now to a 12-year-old? 12-year-olds are not going to spend 2 hours trawling through data before a match. Whereas people my age, that was part of the fun of trawling through all that data, looking for weaknesses, looking for your own strengths. Could you exploit their weaknesses somewhere? That was part of the fun. And they've taken... He wants to play a more direct game, does he, Dorgu? See what we'll see what we can do for you, sunshine. Let's see. I don't necessarily believe it, but we'll do something for you. Go more direct, then. What do I think about the match engine? I think that the match engine has not changed from last year. It's still just as silly. I think that they started this development in FM22, the back end of FM22. And so they kept tweaking it. They kept tweaking the match engine and tweaking it and tweaking it. And it's like, if something wasn't broke, why are you trying to fix it? So they kept tweaking it. And then suddenly things stopped working. By 23... the game had got a little bit dodgy. Things weren't quite right. By 24, the match engine was a farce. And they've built this on top of FM24. I can tell by the results that we're getting. I can tell by the fact that very often teams just ignore your instructions. That's because it's coded in that you're going to lose that particular game. Or it's coded in. If you noticed in FM24, you had blocks of results. Everything was built on blocks. So you'd go 3 games where you couldn't win, and then suddenly you'd win 3 on a trot. There were blocks, and it seemed like it was coded in blocks. Injuries came in blocks. And by 24, I thought the match engine was broken completely. And looking at this now, it does seem to me that they've built the new graphics on top of the old match engine. And that could be because they couldn't get this to work. That was why FM25 was cancelled, because they couldn't get it to work. So they didn't have time to develop a new match engine and the graphics engine in the end. So they've just built it on top of the old match engine. And that's kind of a little sad. But what's even sadder is I don't have any subs I can bring on you. That's quite sad. Fernandez is knackered. Where is Fernandez playing? I guess I'm going to have to play Xerxes there again. Sesko is not playing very well, but I don't have anybody I can... he's tired and not playing well. I could put Cunha up top, but I don't have... I could move Mount up there. So if I move him up here and then bring on... Move Mount up here and bring on Casemiro here, that'll help. So let's go out of possession. Casemiro has to come in here. Xerxes comes in for Mount. Better if Mount is there. Cunha doesn't like covering. So let's pop Cunha back up there. Shaw is tired as well. I think I might have to ask Yoro to play as the right back. It's the only choice I have. Okay. He's going to have to try. Callum, how are you doing, my friend? Yes, I had a very, very good holiday. Not long enough. Only 4 weeks was definitely not long enough. I would have liked it to have been a bit longer. But unfortunately, government restrictions. I played it on the one touch of the first dots when I started playing. Then FM26 is when I played the 3D version. So you never tried 22? Because for me, Callum, 22 was where they'd got it right. After that, they tweaked it so much that they just broke it in the end. But 22, it actually worked as a football manager, and it did seem to me that the decisions that you made in 22 actually affected how the game went. 23, it started to lose that, and I was a bit concerned. In 23, it was starting to lose that. By 24, it had lost it completely. And you just had blocks of things in 24. So 22 for me, and people keep asking me, they've asked me in several places, what was your favourite? It's 22 is always the answer. So if they'd built this graphics on FM22 Match Engine, I'd be more than happy. But of course the 22 Match Engine probably doesn't exist anymore. It's been tweaked so much. I mean, it is... Okay, let's put this in perspective, guys, because this is number 1 of a brand new game. So, can you expect perfection in the first ever game of its kind? Has there ever been a game come out that has been perfect in the first year that it was released? I don't believe so. Although I'm not a great game player apart from this one. I think they all take several years to develop. This is what they're saying. This is brand new. This is going to change the way Football Manager is. So you've got to think, over 10 years, give it 10 years, this game might have improved a huge amount. I can only hope so. But the problem is, in 10 years, I'll be too old to play it. So I'm probably only going to get 1 to 4 of the brand new game before I hang my boots up, I guess. I don't know how easy it would be to play if you're senile. Although, if it does become Football Spectator, it won't matter if you're senile or not. I just hope that they add things back. Yeah, I mean, it was... FM22 was a great version to play. And I enjoyed all those saves that I did. The Ferguson save I did with Norwich was really tough, but And people talk about shouts not working. Shouts definitely worked in FM22 because clearly you could clearly see them working in that Ferguson save, the Lewis Wilden save. Yeah, 22 was absolutely a joy to play. I loved playing FM22. It was my first year as creating content. I love doing FM22. So much fun. Newport Swansea, I did the Norwich Ferguson save. I did one or two others as well. Oh, that was when I managed Benfica. And Benfica, like, always were, I couldn't get them out of debt. They were always like 500 million in debt. Always. And I had to sell every summer. I had to sell all my best players. But eventually we did it. We went and won the Champions League and we did it. A lot of patience was needed. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed FM22. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I enjoyed 23, but I could tell that 23 was going downhill a little bit. But I did enjoy 23. 24 was starting to get me angry, 24, because it was just becoming too predictable. The blocks were becoming too predictable. And I could almost predict the results each week. And that's a terrible shame. It wasn't often that I got a result wrong. And that's not football. It's not that predictable. So we'll see what this brings, what 26 brings. And I'm guessing there will be updates throughout the... See, it's very glitchy. Are you getting pictures where it's very glitchy? Or is it just me? And up to now, it's been very good. And I wonder if it is because I went into clauses. I shouldn't go there. Or whether it was I started a replay of one of those guys. We were lucky I didn't get the black screen of death then. Yeah, it's very glitchy for me, the pictures that I'm seeing. And I'm wondering what's causing that. Because it hasn't been doing that since I bought it. Now and again, but not to this extent. Oh, it must be. Oh, what a twit. Left foot, sunshine. Ipswich and Sunderland saves in 24. Yeah. The problem with 24 was like, you're the better team, Callum, in every single game you play. And you just can't seem to win enough. Getting beat when you are so dominant in a game, it happens. I understand it happens, but not every time. It was frustrating me, and I was telling you then that the match engine was broken. It felt like the engine was broken. It just was not working. What's that for? Oh, it's full time. We've got to win. That's very nice. I do like that, with all them funneling off the tunnel. Address the team. Why does it say that instead of team talk? Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. Now, where does that put us? Oh, we got the black screen again. Oh. Maybe I need to restart my computer. Maybe that's what's wrong. Oh, we have a table there. And we're still in 5th. But it's all getting very congested in there. We could end up in Champions League spots. Ahmad gets the job. He's been in good form, Ahmad. And Mbuemo is absolutely shocking at the moment. Absolutely shocking. So let's have a look. I want to go to, if I can, let's go to the squad. First team. And still only got 2, Shaw and Ahmad, above 7, which is not very good. Lamens is 6.94. It's the other goalkeeper. That's my other goal. Bayern, I'm not interested in him. This boy is 6.75, so Lamens is better. But it's not looking good. There's a lot of players from here down under 6.9. So it's not looking very good. When's the next fixture? That's plenty of time, so no need to rest them. The graphics, it looks like the ball is floating. Do you mean when it's going across the grass? Because four-driven, I've actually seen from behind when the goalkeeper was going to take a goal kick, and the camera went to behind the goalkeeper, and it did look like the ball was levitating above the grass. I thought, that's clever. How did he do that? I think there are little glitches that happen. I'm not, in terms of general play, I'm not seeing the ball. I think what you mean is like it's floating above the ground. I'm not seeing that. And it's something I want to keep an eye out for in the future. But I certainly have seen the goalkeeper from behind it going to take a goal kick or a free kick, and it did seem like the ball was like above the ground. That's very clever. How did he do that? And it was kind of weird. Like it was on a tee, but you couldn't see the golf tee. So I just think there are little glitches and little things that hopefully they will fix. Shouldn't be that difficult to fix things like that. No, we don't want to do that. The thing I love about your says is it makes you feel like I'm watching a live game of football at the pub. I'm gonna do some video. Ben was asking me earlier if it's difficult for him to get to live streams because of his work. He was asking if I'm going to do a video series, and yeah, I am going to do videos again this year. I stopped doing them because I just felt that FM24 didn't warrant it. It was terrible. But we will do some video series again this year, just to get back into it. I'm prepared to give this game a chance. I think my assessment is, despite the fact that, yeah, the graphics are good, but the match engine is still crap. The UI is dreadful to navigate, and there are several other crashing issues. Despite all that, I am willing to give the game a chance, I think. It's the first one. Nobody said it was going to be perfect. And it's not perfect, but let's give it a chance. At least as managers, if we don't perform very well, we can blame the game. So let's give it a chance. So this cautious, this is quite interesting, this tactic, because I'm finding that I get better results with cautious. I do worry about this. I think I'm going to push him up and create him as an outlet winger, because I don't have enough in terms of outlet. You need 2 terms of outlet. I've got 3 in front of my central defenders. 2 pressing midfielders. I think we got plenty there. But this is really interesting because I'm getting my best results in cautious. And I'm getting my best results in a mid-block with a standard line. It's a very defensive setup. And that's really interesting. And again, we played against Everton in a cautious mentality and beat them 2-0. So I'm wondering, I'm trying to develop a defensive style. I still don't know how to do it, but I'm wondering how defensive would work. I might try in another save. I'll set up a tactics testing save, and I might try defensive just to see how that works, because maybe they've moved into defensive and cautious actually having some value, but it's no good playing in cautious against big teams because they just bully you and score at will. But against these littler teams, cautious is working perfectly. You're good at FM, so allowed to play. So yes, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I wasn't bad. Let's say I wasn't bad. FM22, 23, 24, and even perhaps versions before that. When I first started, there was a 4-year probation period where I had no idea what I was doing. So I'd pretty much figured it out by the time we got to 21. And there are many, many people who are as good as me and probably much better. And I think the more you play it, the better you become. And I think if you're willing to sort of step back and look at things from a manager's point of view, you can become quite good at it. I wouldn't say I was brilliant, Callum, but I wasn't bad. Now I'm like a novice. I'm totally like a fish out of water, and I'm relearning different things. Like Centek's question about the new tactical system, I'm relearning things as I go along, because it's so interesting working with different systems. Now, we never had an out of possession before. And so we just assumed that the players were going to have a starting position and an end position. So now we've got 2 systems to actually think about. This is how we want our shape to be in possession. We're not thinking about rest defense here. Out of possession, where this is how we are going to defend. But none of this actually takes care of counter-attacking. So this is where you need to be careful in terms of... where do we get this? In terms of your rest defense. So, for example, in the final third, when we are in possession, my rest defense is dodgy. And out of possession... in the final third, we've got a better rest, looking like a better defensive setup. But here, I can see that we are extremely vulnerable when we are in the final third. Dorgu is looking good there as an inverted wing-back because he's covering this area of the pitch. So I'm learning, I would say, Centex. I'm learning how to interpret what I can see on the screen. I am looking at this, I'm a total novice. But I will learn, because I'm stubborn. I will learn how to perfect this. I'm not just going to let the game dictate how good I am. I will work it out. But so far, The tactical system, I can see what they're trying to do. What worries me is how do you manage the rest defense? So if I put these as fullbacks, so if I put him as a fullback and just tell him to be a fullback, sorry, no, that should be in. So he was a inverted wing back, wasn't he? Was he? Yeah, he was an inside wing back, the old inverted wing back. And out of possession, these are fullbacks. So when I then go to the final third for out of possession, you can see that they're both acting as fullbacks, and we do have good cover. But in possession, they're not there. So it's the transition from one to another. They've got to shift back very quickly into shape. And that's, for me, is what I'm trying to get my head around. It's that transition. How do they go from one thing to another? Because he's going to be up here. Is that too high? Because we are vulnerable from counterattacks. And I'm trying to get my head around that. So I'm learning all the time. And I'm considering myself a complete novice at this system. Whereas I could put a tactic together quite easily in 24. I'm not finding it so easy now. And having to work very, very hard at it. Oh, we're about to kick off, are we? What is my team selection? Review team selection. So let's go to tactics. Who have I got playing? Have I got Dallo back yet? Yeah, he can play. I'm actually going to keep him as an inverted wing back because he fills in a space here, which is nice. We'll keep Shaw as the wing back. We're going to have. I think I'm going to play. I think he's instructed to cut inside with the ball, isn't he? Yeah. So that will give room out here. Mount should be instructed to get further forward. Yeah, more forward runs. And then we've got a winger here. He comes and fills in there. That should work nicely. Now then, Dallo, Delict. He's tired, Delict. Martinez, Shaw, Fernandez, yeah. Ahmad, Mount, Cunha, Mbuemo, and Sesko. All looks very good to me. Jeremy comes in for. So then we've got Heaven, Casemiro. I don't know why I need all those. Mazraoui can come in for Heaven. Do I have a left back available now? Dorgu's available for Ryan Bennett, I think his name is. So now I've got Casemiro, Mainu, Jeremy, Xerxes. And good old Harry. No room for Harry. So, team instructions, I'm fairly happy with the way we're playing. They did say that passing maps are currently under consideration. Well, that's good, Nathan. That at least will be something. And yeah, I'll welcome them. I'd also like to see focus of attack in that on that iPad, the half when there's no highlights, and I'd like to see heat maps. If I can have a heat map in game, that will give me some idea of where teams are attacking. So there are things that I want to see. Focus of attacks in FM24 was what helped me to decide where my defensive line should be. I only had to look at that for a few seconds, and then I could alter the defensive line. The heat map would then confirm what I was thinking. And this game is called Football Manager, and you need those things to be able to manage. And that's what I loved the game for. Yep, let's pick up where we left off. Good result here. We could go top, boys. See, already I'm clicking that off. We're going to just go and do that now. All done. The interesting thing, as I mentioned in the video about these graphics, is, I don't know, do you think that is too slow? I think it's just a tad slow, but when I go to the one notch up, it's way too fast. So I think that between 1 and 1.25 is where the sweet spot is. And what I really desperately need to do here, immediately I can see, is these boys are very dangerous. I need to check, but asking Ahmad to do this job is a disaster. So he's got to do wing back left. And did I just cancel that? Is that what I did? No, wing back left. And he's got to do wing back right. Out of possession. He's not even down to do it this time. Okay, so those guys have got to be marked out of the game. I have a funny feeling I'm going to need a standard line. I think it is in standard line. Oh, we've got to make sure we keep those two quiet. Let's go to... Have to keep them quiet. If Ahmad does a bad game, I might put Ugarte out there. Oh, go on. We're in. Get in. Sesko finally gets a goal. Get in, son. This could take us top, I think. Although I'm not sure. We used to be able to click on and have a look at the league table, but we can't do it anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Well done, Sesko. He's got a goal at last. I think that's goal number 2 for him. Haven't played FM a lot because I've been watching a lot of football. I think if you follow football, I watch Premier League myself. All weekend is taken up with Premier League, and I think if you get addicted to watching football, you start watching the game in terms of the tactical setup, and you start reading the game and learning how the manager is putting it together. And I found myself, I don't just watch the football on the TV. I try to just watch it, but I'm analysing why teams are winning. I think that's part of the enjoyment of combining Football Manager and real football, is that I can apply what I see on the TV into FM as well. So I think you'd probably be very decent, Callum. Very decent, I would imagine. I would not worry about it. Guys, if you're sitting there, I forgot to say at the beginning, give us a like, because it does help promote the channel. You've no idea how much a single like helps to promote the channel, and I'd be very grateful if you could do that. But you see, cautious is working again against teams who are not as good as us. And that was an FM24 thing. And I think in FM24 it was because you drew the opposition out. We're going to type mark him. And I think he's got, yeah, it's a left foot as well. We have to take care of these two. Hui, where did that go? So we want to drag him onto his left foot. And the other one, he is right-footed. That's really weird that it won't go back to the screen I was on. So right-footed, and we are going to turn him onto his, sorry, his right foot. And we're also going to type mark him. Get in. That's how you stop those wing backs. But it's really important, stopping wing backs, you have to have these wide players tracking them back. And that's how you do that. And once you take the two wing backs out, they haven't got any threat. So hopefully we should have this game in the bag now. Or at least that's how we did it in FM24. For a long, long time I found it difficult to beat teams that played with three at the back. But it's really just take the wing backs out. Make sure, sometimes you double mark them. And they don't seem to have any threat. They don't want to play up the middle. Callum, your knowledge of tactics must be out of this world. Looking at that list. Because you're getting to see them all, basically. Oh, that should have been two. It should have been two. Sesko, you should have had another one there. Again, it's this cautious mentality, I think, that's against teams who are not in the top six. Just playing a cautious mentality. Top six teams, I still haven't figured it out. They're like very, very difficult to beat. Are you seeing this as a bit glitchy? I'm looking at my little screen there. Are you seeing it on your screens as glitchy, like it's stuttering, the game's stuttering? Because that's what I'm seeing on my main screen here. I'm getting stuttering. And I think probably my computer's been on all day. It probably needs a reboot. But we're certainly taking Palace apart here. I would expect more goals, but come on, boys. Mbuemo is absolutely shocking. Not as good as your knowledge, Phil. A lot. Oh, yeah, that's probably all it's down to, is I'm old and senile. I've had I can remember last season I put together that 1970s Brazilian attacking tactic. I had such fun doing that because I had to go back to the old days and watching the Brazilian 70s team and trying to emulate what they were doing on the pitch. And that was so much fun to do that. I actually got it quite close, I think, in the end. I think I got it quite close. I guess we've done that already. I've always liked tactical stuff. I've always watched football tactical analysis. And I guess, yeah, over 70 years, you build up a little bit of knowledge. Well, I take that back. I've always said that Mbuemo was a class player. I've always said it. I don't know why you guys keep insisting that he's not very good. Absolute class, I've always said. I mean, look at this. Oh, that was a neat little flick as well. And that's about the graphics. Like, those little things make it for me. That little flick off the wrong foot into Mbuemo, put it away. That is good graphics. That was a good goal. And we didn't see too much of that in FM24. We were starting to see a little bit more, but not as quality as that in the graphics. And when last stream, I think it was, when I saw the back heel goal from the penalty spot, that was awesome. So we are seeing a lot better. But I just can't help thinking that I want to manage a bit more. But maybe I'll get over it. I'm just actually, at this stage, I'm just trying to enjoy what we have. Gonna give it my best to enjoy what we have. And if they can improve on it, then great. I'll be very grateful if they improve on it. And so, if I could slow this down, I could see if we'd taken the wing backs out. And I do believe we have. Oh, referee! That was not a foul. With both of them, we need to just take them out. But I want to tell Dallo. Forgot about this. Also for trigger press, just do it less often. And for Shaw, just not so much, boy. Stand off him a little bit. Where's the ball? Oh, we got a ball now. I'm not quite sure what that highlight was about, but certainly confused me. He is a very dangerous fullback in real life, though, isn't he, Munoz? He's like a crazy boy. And they are getting the ball more and more to their wing-backs now. And again, Ahmad is not doing his job. Richards is not being marked by Ahmad at all. And Mbuemo is not tracking back. And I wonder if that's just because the players don't like doing it, or whether the game at the moment isn't capable of doing that. But they are not tracking the fullbacks as they're supposed to. So Ahmad is tracking the wing back there, and Mbuemo's he's just wandering around in the middle. But at least Ahmad did track back there. Mbuemo was like, forget it. It might be something to do with the role that I've got him in, because he's now playing as an outlet forward. So let's just change his role and then see if... Yeah, because he's like playing as an outlet winger at the moment. So if I change his role in out of possession to a tracking winger, let's see if he actually tracks back now. And follows. Oh, well done, Ahmad. See, that's the class that I'm looking for. This is what? Urgency from this team. Mount is playing well for me in a variety of positions. Was that a penalty, ref, or did he just fall down? Goal reminded me of it. Yeah, it did, Callum, wasn't it just? It's a kind of an old-fashioned type goal. I remember like Rooney and Van Nistelrooy doing stuff like that. And yeah, old-time goal that reminded me of. Good tell Luke Shaw to mark Uche. Who is Uche? Who the heck is Uche? Tell Luke Shaw to mark him. Don't be daft. One of my DMs should be marking him. For now, if he's a danger, we'll just say type mark anybody whose zone he's in. But certainly not Shaw. He's trying to look after the wing back with Mbuemo. Do I think Man United will beat Everton? Yes, I do. And it's funny because last season, if you'd asked me that question, I'd have said no. I don't think so, because my confidence level in them was terrible. But I think they are playing a lot better this season. I think that Cunha and Mbuemo are starting to be very good players in that team. And yes, I do think they'll beat Everton. I think probably 2-0, I think. Looking forward to watching a bit of Premier League football this weekend, I've got to admit. Been away for a month, haven't seen any TV football. Looking forward to it, starting tomorrow. I do think United have improved a lot. And a lot of people are having to eat their words now, including me. There was another instance there. As he took that corner, the ball was above the ground. So whoever was talking about the ball floating might have a point. Well, so far, I think we've... Oh, yeah, we did beat them 2-0, didn't we? This is Crystal Palace, isn't it? I haven't got anything to say to the defenders. What about individuals? Let's give Sesko a bit of praise. And Mbuemo. I'm very happy with your performance today. Diallo is tired, so may have to come off. There's nothing left in the tank. There is a Mazraoui can come in here. Let's go and add a couple of goals, boys. And then that will be 2 very good wins on the bounce. We could actually... Is there a league table here? I don't think there is. No, we don't have a league table, do we? Bit of a shame. Oh, yes, we do. No, we will still only be in 4th. How have we gone down? Yeah, we'll be in 4th. Which is pretty good. So I would say the 4-1-2-2-1 is actually working. It might need a couple more tweaks, but I think I'll have, by the time I start my first proper save, I will have got this 4-1-2-2-1 working really well, which will mean it worked for 22, 23, 24, and now 26. So if I can get it working, that'll be so cool. Oof, row Z. Come on, United, let's get another one. Oh, referee. Are they just... Getting stuck in here, trying to disrupt us by getting stuck in. Come on, track him back, track him back. He's just not doing anything. Too late now. You woke up too late. You're not careful. Munoz will score. Tell you what, though, it does seem to rain in every game. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, or whether it's just me, but it seems to be raining in every game I play. Just like, I mean, it's probably quite accurate for British weather, but I would expect just one day where it's not raining. But it does seem to rain every single game. Not quite sure that's really accurate about British weather. It's not far off, I suppose. Amarin is potentially proving to be a good manager. Yeah, and like I said, there's going to be a few people who have to eat their words, me included. Whether he's just in a good phase at the moment and United will eventually go back to being United, but he's certainly got them playing at the moment, and maybe it's because confidence is high now. I can't remember what position they are in the league at the moment, but they are much higher than people thought they were going to be. Let's Google that. BBC Sport Premier League. Where's the table? There it is. So they're in 7th with 18 points, and it's only 1 point short of being top 4. And they have a run of fixtures coming up, which is very, very good. So you've got to think, if they can pick up points over the next 3 or 4 weeks, points they should, from games they should be picking up points. If they can do that, then they've got every chance of getting in top 4, maybe even better than top 4. Because Arsenal are the team to beat. They are extremely good, Arsenal. If they can get all their players fit, and I think they have got them all back now, they're going to be tough to beat. Liverpool also a very good side. And hopefully we might have a good competition this year with United in there amongst them. Europa League will be good enough for me. Absolutely good enough for me. The secret to it is not to let themselves down. It's like to get into the Europa League, and up the last few years they've just been letting themselves down once they've got there. And if they can start working as a team, I think Mbeumo and Cunha have been very, very good for them. And if we start working as a team, bring in a good solid midfielder as well in one of the transfer windows, I think we might have a good team there. Oh, just over the bar. I'm concerned about, I'm getting a lot of glitching on the screen at the moment. I am wondering, keen to know if you guys are experiencing any glitching going on, like a stuttering. It's not smooth, which is odd because up to now it's been almost perfect, and it's just since I started streaming tonight. So I'm wondering if you guys are also seeing any if the picture is smooth or whether it's glitching. It's not glitching where the players are jumping from one place to another. It just stutters, like a flickering. Come on, we need this third goal, boys, and then I can make some subs. Sunderland 4th. This time who could have predicted that? I mean, what? Everybody was talking about the 3 promoted teams going straight back down. Who would have predicted that, eh? I certainly couldn't have predicted that. And fair play, take my hat off to them. They've done extremely well. Ahmad probably is tired. He needs a rest. So we can bring Mbuemo over here. And bring on Jeremy over here. And we need to change the 2 around. And which midfielder? Mbuemo is tired, is he? Midfielder doing okay. Mbuemo. Maybe I'll have to play. Yeah, let's play Ugarte. He can manage that role. Cunha's not very good in that position, but it doesn't matter. We're 2-0 up, and he just needs to get his body in the way. So, come on, boys. This will be... Oh, we will be in 4th. If we can hold on to this, we'll be in 4th. We'll take that. Title winners we've got here. I think we could probably speed it up now. Have I got any subs left? Yeah, I've got a sub that I can use up. Fernandez is knackered. Mount is knackered. Mainu can come on. We'll put Mainu on there. Huh? Oh, I haven't got any subs left. So keep this up. Another 2-0 victory will be fine. And this is playing incautious. So we're creating loads of chances, scoring lots of goals, but it doesn't work against, say, the top 6 teams. You cannot play cautious against them because they just steamroller you. So I have to try and figure out. Cautious works against this kind of team. And I have to try and figure out what system works against the bigger teams. That's not so easy to do. This probably works because they're not able to sit back. And it's just pulling them out. Nice passing. Make something. Oh, that's a lovely move. Get in! That was a goal and a half. The passing was so cool at the beginning of that. And then they opened them up like a can of sardines. Oh, what good passing that was. And that burst at the end from Cunha. Get in, son. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing. Before he even shot, he thought, I'll have a lie down here. But not my problem. Get in. What a good goal that was. I mean, again, that's like sometimes in 26, they are scoring some very good goals. And that brings joy to my heart to see those quality goals going in. Go on, son. You're on a high now. Go on. Foul, referee. Yep, he's giving a foul. And that was quality. That a team goal. Absolute stunning goal. And that, fair play to FM26. It's brought that to us, which is nice. So fair play. It would be nice if I could score a goal from a set piece, though. I got the penalty in this episode. It's taken nearly to the halfway through the season, but I got the penalty in the end. Now let's have a headed goal from a set piece. That would be really nice. Oh, that was just a stunning goal. He had another chance there, but that was a poor pass. Oh, Sunderland playing Newcastle on your birthday. I think it's going to be a closer game than people ever gave it credit for. Everybody at the start of the season would have been saying Newcastle were going to steamroller them. Oh, hit the bar. Again, I'm not so sure about that now. In fact, Sunderland are going to be right up for it. That's not as close to call as... I don't know. I think it just depends on who's at home for that result. Yeah, they got one back, but it doesn't matter. So, who's at home, Callum? Their wing backs are always going to be a problem. But we've managed to win the game, and that's all that counts. So I fancy that Sunderland have a chance then, Callum. I actually fancy Sunderland have got a chance. If they're at home. Newcastle haven't been that great of late. Didn't they lose to Brentford 3-1 last week? I had Thiago on the bench in my FPL. Lost 13 points. Oh, boy. I think I'm going to try out defensive here now. We're going to go defensive. I haven't tried that, and I do want to try it at some point. Just make it difficult for them. Good save. So that hopefully will be home and dry now. This is nice. Just keep hold of the ball, boys. Oh, what did I say? I just said keep hold of the ball, boys. Are they going to make it 3-2 to make it interesting? No, not for a long like that. 3 minutes of added time. Just hold on, boys. I hope they get rid of this. That's a complete waste of space, that is. And they could put some useful information in that space, some very useful information. I'd like focus of attacks to go in there and the heat maps for both teams. And you could fit it in there. Without a doubt, you could fit it in there. And hopefully they will make these little changes as the year goes on. Do updates. Somebody might even come out with a skin. Before we know it, we'll have a skin with all the data that we need. Who knows? So let's stay optimistic. But at the moment, it's... there's a lot left to be desired. But let's make the most of it. Certainly the graphics are pleasing, and some of these goals are delightful. And we've seen two class goals, two very classy goals. Defensive looks quite interesting, actually, because they're just focused on not doing anything with the ball. They're not attack-minded at all. Love the history between Newcastle and Sunderland. The entire history of the Tyne and Wear derby. Sunderland have won 53 to Newcastle's 54. So, like, it's close. And it is. It's one of the top derbies. Come on, referee. Time to blow your whistle. Come on. Time for the whistle. Is that it? Is that the full-time whistle? Yeah. So defensive looks quite interesting because it just looks like it's made everybody into combination of a ball-playing defender and a no-nonsense defender. You either hoof it for miles or just try to hold on to it at the back. Interesting. And so there we are. That's it for tonight. I've had a good time. We are going to finish this episode in 4th. And there's only 3 points between City and ourselves. I'd call that a success. Given this team, given that we're trying a new tactic, I'd call that a success. So I will call it a day there, boys. Thank you very much for coming in and supporting the channel. I very much appreciate it. We had 194 people in tonight. Not as many as the first one, but a good view time. 13 minutes almost of view time average. So that's pretty good. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And thank you for talking to me, Callum. Otherwise, I would have been very lonely in the last half an hour. So we've managed to have a good chat. I will stream again on Sunday night. We'll go through this season, just helping me to learn the game, and I hope you guys will help me as well. We'll just finish this, and then we will start a proper save. So I'm always open to suggestions for a save. If you've got a suggestion for a save, just leave it for me in the comments. And thank you very much for coming. And I'm going to go and have a nice cup of tea now. And probably have a Cornish pasty because I'm quite hungry. And I will be back on Sunday. So in the meantime, stay safe, take care, and we will see you next time.